well. Members, please stand to greet the President as he. I just wanted to introduce the honorable members. This is Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Fiji, Major General Retired Chilchi Kunusi Konoke. Could I ask my colleague to please do the garland for.
Your Excellency, the former President, the Honourable Speaker of the Fijian Parliament, the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister of Samoa, Ms. Fiame Naomi Marafa, the Honourable Members from the 9 Pacific Island States and New Zealand Parliaments, Your Excellencies, Heads of Missions, representatives of the Diplomatic Corps, from the Australian High Commission, the Embassy of Japan, and the New Zealand High Commission. The UNDP Pacific Office Resident Representative, Mr. Vinit Bhatia. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. Sambal Vinaka, Assalamu alaikum, Kia orana, Talofalama. Ali, Fakalofa Lahiyatu, Maori, kia ora. It's indeed a great honor and pleasure for me to be here this evening to welcome you to Fiji and to deliver a few remarks at this Pacific Women in Power Forum reception of 2019. I believe it prudent that I begin by acknowledging the leadership of the Fijian Parliament, being one of the driving forces which has been instrumental in ensuring that such a powerful and motivating Regional Pacific Forum takes place here in Fiji. At the outset, I also deem it proper that I acknowledge the vision, the passion and leadership of a great Fijian woman, a great leader, loyal and hardworking and honest and humble civil servant, and the first woman speaker of the Fijian Parliament, the late Speaker Dr. Chiku Luveni, who in 2018 started the discussions with the United Nations Development Programme on the need for such a forum. I would also like to commend and acknowledge the untiring efforts of the current speaker, His Excellency the Honourable Ratipeli Narakau, an equally good soldier and military commander, a former speaker, and a fine statesman for turning their vision into reality. The Pacific Women in Power Forum provides an excellent platform to engage women leaders like your good selves, to share your vast experiences and knowledge and assist in developing best practices on the key issues that will help you in your very important roles as members of Parliament. It's a unique opportunity to extend your network, build relationships, and enhance your knowledge on women and leadership issues, as well as an opportunity to meet peers and friends from across the Pacific. Honourable members, we all know that the underrepresentation of women at any level of governance and decision-making can result in a democratic deficit. It has been proven time and again that diverse groups make better decisions. This is particularly true when it comes to a task as challenging as representing the views and interests of citizens in any country. I personally believe in a well-renowned English adage that besides every successful man is an equally talented, gifted, and successful woman. Women are gifted and unique in many ways, and in any political debate, they can be trusted to give a more balanced view and perception regarding the issue at hand. The Pacific region has the lowest level of women's political representation in the world, and sadly, this has been the case for many years. The low level of women's representation in the Pacific Parliament is a critical challenge for democracy and the sustainable development of our region. Although significant resources have been dedicated to programs aimed at increasing women's political leadership and participation, progress has been rather slow in the Pacific region since we gained independence from our colonial masters decades ago. For example, the Pacific region has found it challenging to research or to reach targets of even 10% women's representation in Parliament, 10%. Only in January 2016 was the first woman elected president of a Pacific country, Dr. Hilda Heine, in the Republic of the Marshall Islands. However, there are encouraging signs of progress. In the Cook Islands election last year, we saw a record number of women elected to Parliament, with 25% of Cook Islands members of Parliament now being women. Well done. We also have a record percentage of candidates being women at next month's election in the Solomon Islands. Okay. Good work. Across the Pacific today, there is progress in this area, and we should celebrate this much welcome trend and progress, whilst at the same time encouraging more action and positive changes in this regard. I would like to quote and remind us of the words of Ms. Michelle Bachelet, the head of the Young Women, a former President and Defense Minister of Chile, who said, and I quote, "For me, a better democracy is a democracy where women do not only have the right to vote and to elect, but to be elected." Unquote. Apt and timely words of wisdom and encouragement indeed. At this juncture, please allow me to highlight some of Fiji's progress in this area since 2014. Fiji had its general elections in September 2014 and our 2013 constitution, which members of Parliament were elected through an open list proportional representation voting system with one national constituency. Now, political parties and independent candidates must now obtain or achieve a minimum of 5% national threshold to be eligible or qualify for a seat in Parliament. When we consider women's participation in Fiji's two most recent elections, 2014 and 18, there have been encouraging signs that more women are now venturing forth to join their male colleagues in representing their respective communities in Parliament. In our election last year, 56 women out of the 235 candidates, a total of about 34%, contested the national elections. This is an increase from 2014, when only 18% of candidates were women. And indeed, at the final count of votes in November 2018, a record number of 10 women, about 20% in total, out of 51 MPs, were voted in the Parliament representing 3 political parties. This is the highest number ever for our country, and this milestone achievement must be celebrated, acknowledged, and accepted as the new trend in our national psyche and political arena and landscape. Honourable members, I can assure you that there is an evolution of democracy in Fiji, and women are now very much central to our political domain, leadership and decision-making positions across the different sectors. To illustrate this point, 5 women now hold ministerial positions, 3 being women cabinet ministers, and 2 hold assistant ministers' portfolios, and of course, the chief whip of the opposition parties, also a woman. This development of women in leadership positions in Fiji, both in the political sphere and other sectors, demonstrate the confidence we have in the capacity of our women to effect change and contribute to the development of our nation. I also wish to highlight that in the last Parliament term of 2014 to 18, Fiji's Parliament Secretarial Leadership had the first woman speaker, the late Dr. Chico Leveni, and she was ably supported by a strong management team of women, including the Secretary General, who I believe is here with us tonight, the Deputy Secretary General, and several women senior managers. In the civil service, we have women represented at Permanent Secretary, Deputy Secretary, and Director levels across all government agencies. Honourable members, Fiji is far from being a perfect model. Although we have made some notable progress, more work needs to be done to increase the participation of women in decision-making, political and public life, as well as in the private sectors. On this note, I wish to acknowledge the unwavering support and invaluable contribution of civil society organizations in Fiji for endeavoring to ensure that we break the glass ceiling of what has been for decades accepted norm in a male-dominated society by continuously and strongly advocating for and raising awareness of gender equality in our country and being that strong and consistent voice for women and young girls. It is encouraging to see that your collective efforts are slowly but surely coming to fruition. This, ladies and gentlemen, is in line with the provisions in Fiji's 2013 Constitution, that of inclusivity. In my capacity as immediate past Chancellor of the University of South Pacific, the flagship of the Pacific region, in 2018, I noted with great interest and pride that female graduates are gradually outnumbering the males. This is indeed a positive sign for women in the Pacific. However, having women elected to Parliament or progressing to leadership is only part of the journey. Once there, women leaders must be supported, engaged, and appreciated, as this is where peer-to-peer exchanges at a Pacific forum such as this become so critical to our social, political, and economic progress as Pacific Island developing states. In hindsight, as women in any position of leadership, you set a new and enviable trend for many aspiring younger women in our societies. You inspire them to dream big and set goals to accomplish and fulfill them. Honourable members, please allow me to elaborate on my other role apart from being the President of State, and that of our beloved nation, who I'm also very committed to being Fiji's lead advocate and champion in a national campaign to combat and try to eliminate NCDs, or non-communicable diseases, and promote the Fijian government's wellness program. NCDs and related ailments like hypertension and diabetes has been, unfortunately, prevalent in Fiji and the Pacific. Now, NCDs are now contributing to the deaths of over 80% of the most productive members of our population and society, people below the age of 70. As women leaders in your own island nations, I believe it is crucial to advocate on healthy eating, leading a healthy lifestyle, and preserving our beautiful and pristine environment. Most, if not all of you, our members are mothers and some grandmothers, and apart from your professional portfolios, I believe that you all share this passion to promote healthy eating, proper preparation of meals and healthy living in our own homes, in our workplace, in our ministries, in our countries, and eventually in our beloved Pacific region. I trust you will find the deliberations and outcomes of this forum timely, useful, and equally enjoyable. This is indeed a unique regional learning experience, and I encourage you to share your vast knowledge and experiences and form lasting friendships and relationships. While you are here in Nadi, I hope that you will find some time to enjoy our genuine warmth and hospitality as Fijians, your host and traditional neighbor and friend. Enjoy your evening, and I wish you well and every success in your deliberations in the next day or two. Thank you, Nabaleu, Danyavad, Sukra, Maitaki, Whakatai, Te Kamal Mesau, Whakaue, Korarawa, Whakawhitai Koi. May Almighty God bless us always. I hope I pronounced that right.
We're now about to have dinner.
Verse 6, which says, let everything